Hey team. Okay, I'm making this again because apparently I wasn't recording last time. Okay. Thank you so much for what we did and what you did yesterday. I thought our very first kids' church service was awesome. Thank you for doing the prep work in advance. Thank you for having read through your part and being ready to go. And then thank you for just showing up and being positive and trying something new and different. I mean, you found out about these changes a week ago, and yet we did it, and you did it, and I'm so thankful. So what I do whenever I teach a class, like I do in kids' church, or I lead a meeting, or I'm presenting at a workshop, whatever I do, I always take time at the end to reflect on how things went, and I call it a plus delta. Pluses are things that went great, things that I can celebrate, things that I'm proud of. Deltas are areas of growth, things that I want to change, or if I would do it differently in the future, how would I do it? This is so important as a leader of anything to reflect on the pluses and the deltas. You can ask the pod leaders whenever we have a meeting. I do this with them, and I want their feedback. Not only what did I like and what do I want to change, but what did they see and hear that I didn't see and hear? So yesterday we were spread out around the room, and you guys saw and heard different things than I did, and vice versa. So it's so good that we do this collectively as a group. So I'm going to share with you in this video the pluses and the deltas from yesterday, and then I would like all of you to reply all to this email doing the same thing. What did you think was good? What could we change or do better? Okay, here we go. Number one, I thought the energy in the room was excellent. I loved having all those kids in the room because I think it has an impact on the atmosphere. Praise with Nicole. I think the kids got into the dance moves and they were excited. Nicole and I already talked, and we know that in the future we'll have her stuff already brought up on the computer so we don't have to waste time for that. Like, it'll be a shorter transition. So we've already discussed that. I'm looking at my list here. I think the decor was fun. It adds to our theme, and it gets kids like, what's going on here today? So I was excited about that. And then all of us came prepared to do our part. And honestly, that's my favorite thing about this format, is that we're not responsible for the entire thing. That can be overwhelming. We're responsible for a few parts here and a few parts there, and when we come together as a group, it's better than it would be if one of us were doing the whole thing by ourselves. Plus, we know that brains have a sort of time limit of engagement, and so it's usually based on age. So we have first graders in there who are 6, and we have sixth graders in there who are 12. So we should be changing something every 6 to 12 minutes just to keep their brains engaged. And the fact that they get to see different teachers with different teaching styles, with different props, really help to send a message home. Okay, so I can't wait to hear what you think was great. Here's a couple of deltas. Of course, as we do this more often, our transitions will become smoother, but we really need to pay attention to how much time we're spending on one thing, and then just stick to a certain amount of time. No object lesson should be over 5 minutes, for example. And so we'll just kind of have to figure the schedule out as we go. The bathrooms. There will be going forward, there's no more bathroom breaks during preaching time, because if we let kids go to the bathroom during preaching time, we're letting them know that that is more important than the word, and we can't send that message. So kids can go to the bathroom during game time, they can go to the bathroom anytime up until preaching time or after closure preaching time. And that was communicated to kids, but I do appreciate David and Anthony accommodating kids who because it was their first time. But going forward, we'll make sure that that doesn't happen. And David had a great suggestion. This Wednesday, we'll make an announcement in church so that parents are also aware of that expectation. And the more people we have on board, the better. All right, I'm looking at my list. Oh, one thing as teachers that we can work on is this. One or two people are usually at the front kind of conducting something. And then the other teachers should not be in the back of the room behind the students. We need to come up and be on the side of the chairs. And then if I stand in the middle of the side of the chairs, which is where I like to stand, I can back up a few rows or I can come up a few rows. And me just standing by a kid can dramatically change their behavior, number one. Number two, then I'm close to be able to redirect. Kids need to see us in their peripheral vision. We do not need to be in back anymore, okay? And then, along with that, we can't be having conversations. So when Teacher Deborah and I were doing our skit, David and Anthony, I know you were probably planning the next thing or something, but you were talking and I got distracted. So I can't imagine how the kids in the back row, they're hearing you and they're hearing us and they're supposed to be paying attention to us. So if it's an emergency, we can have a quick conversation, but that's not the time to have a conversation. So anyways, we just need to be better about that. And then that's all I got. So I cannot wait to hear about what you guys thought about how yesterday went, and then what things we can do better next time. Feel free to drop in on classes the rest of this month if you want to. Going forward, next month we'll be in 2 services as opposed to 1, and so we get to do it again. But thank you so much for the work that you did yesterday. It would not have been a success had you not all done the work ahead of time. Okay, see you soon.